Okay, it's Tuesday morning, August 16th. It's about 6:10 a.m. and we are headed off. I was going to make one video yesterday. Again, I'm probably not going to stick with these, but until I get this SD, I have a couple SD cards that I let a buddy borrow that have like a mountain biking video and some reviews. Nothing major, but there's a lot of videos I have on there, probably about 12 of them or so, that I need to upload, and I just thought, I'll probably get that back today. So until then, I'll make a few of these videos, but Jesus, it's foggy. Anyway, today I was going to make one yesterday, but I didn't. Started to, then I forgot, honestly. But today we've got like 3 calls all across the city, so we'll do those and go from there. I'm going to have to turn on the defrost. That's going to drown it out. Let me get these windows unfogged, and when I get on the road, we'll go from there, so stay tuned. Okay, we're almost to our first call here. It's about 6:50 in the morning, and this one should hopefully be short and sweet. This was an install that I did last week, and yesterday was the first day it's raining, and we have a printer that just kind of took a dive on them, so I just got to go in, and I think it's an older printer, so I think maybe the print server has gone bad, which is pretty common on those old parallel port printers that use a print server. The print servers are just not real reliable, especially after, you know, they've probably had this thing for 10 years. So here we are. We're gonna go in here, and then hopefully won't be in here long, because I've got to be at my next call at 8 across town. So we will see you when we get back. Okay, we're done. It's about 7:10, so we're gonna head off to the other side of town. Actually, the other call is only about a half hour away, so I'm probably gonna be early, and they may not get there early, so we may have a little bit of time here. Oh, and luckily this time in the morning there's not a lot of traffic. It's around 7:45, 8. Which I don't know if people are just going to work at the last minute, or most people don't have to go to work till 9. Now they say that. Now the traffic's kind of bad over here. But anyway, once I get a little bit more woken up and everything, we'll come back. When we get to the next call. So not much to say right now. Okay, here we are. It's about 8 o'clock. As I mentioned earlier, either nobody works and they decide to leave the house at 8, or everybody's late to work, or everybody has to work at 9, which doesn't sound right, but whatever. I mean, this traffic is horrible. I've actually been here since about 7:30. So here's our office up here. We're just going to take a little shortcut. Are. About time. And this one should go fairly quickly, but I'm kind of hoping it doesn't because of that traffic that awaits me. Hopefully it'll die down in about an hour. So we're going to go in here and get her done, and we'll be back. Okay, we're leaving this call here. We're going to head to our next one, which is a couple hours away. It's about 10 o'clock now, so I should get there, I think, an hour and a half, maybe. Should get there 11:30, noon, something like that. So when we get on the open road, this time I will get on the GoPro. I know I said that in the last few videos. Oh, you know, we're on the open road, and then I never get on the open road and talk. So anyway, we're going to leave this one for now, and then we'll be back, so stay tuned. Okay, we're on the road right now. We're actually almost to our next destination. I didn't get to talk that much because of the phone, as I mentioned in other videos. So here's our exit here. way back, hopefully we'll get to talk a little more. I got another call after this one, so, and actually it's the call I was at first thing this morning. We have to do a little bit of additional training. We were there all day yesterday, as I mentioned, but the office is still not really getting it. So a lot of the job involves just showing these people how this stuff works. And the bad thing is there's about 40 different, well, probably more than that, different programs out there. So I'm not a pro in any of them. I know quite a bit about all of them, but you know, I don't work for a manufacturer. So this call here is just replacing a hard drive. Should be pretty straightforward, about 20 minutes. I usually just clone a drive, a working system, provided they have matching systems, which this office does. So they're all like Intel 965 boards or something like that. I don't remember what they are, but whatever they are. You know, you can obviously reload the OS and do all that, but that you know, that takes an hour. After you run all your Microsoft updates, everything, I mean, you're looking at 2 hours. And usually I just clone. I'll either use Ghost or with Windows 7. I don't have a Ghost for Windows 7. The Ghost version I have doesn't work well with it. It's kind of hit or miss. So I usually use CloneZilla, which maybe I should make a bit about that. CloneZilla is a good program to use for cloning, especially Windows 7 or 64-bit. They got different versions available, and it's as far as I know, it's free. Pretty sure. I don't think they charge for any of their versions. So hopefully I'll only be here in about 20 minutes, and then I'll head back, which is about another 2 hours, which puts me there right around 2:30, and then that'll end the day. Crap. Of course, I get hit by a red light, and the office is right across the street there on the left-hand side. Other things to talk about. Unfortunately, Speed, well, I guess it's CBS, whoever, on Saturday, I did not get to see the 450 race. I hear, you know, from reading on online, sounds like Barcia was really tearing it up out there. And Barcia, you know, I never used to like Barcia. I used to think he was cocky and didn't really like him, but I like him now. When I went to Indy this year, the race in Indianapolis, I got to see obviously him in action, and the kid he's fun to watch, I'll tell you that much. And he's an awesome rider, he really is. I mean, I know he's had a lot of falls this year and whatnot, but this guy took up 2 parking spaces. Thanks, bub. Anyway, hearing what I've heard about him riding the 450, and you know, giving my boy Dungy, I'm a Dungy fan, giving him a heck of a run for the money, it sounds like. Barcia, maybe he was just overriding. Actually, I'll park right here. Maybe he was just overriding that 250. You know, he's always got the rev limiter maxed out on that thing, so maybe that was the issue. I don't know, but I look forward to watching him race. Hopefully, the next race, which I think they have next week off. I may be wrong on that, but hopefully the next race I'll actually get to see him ride a 450, because he's got a lot of style. When we watched, when we were at the race live, it's just, he's awesome to watch, just phenomenal. So his style and everything, he's just, like I said, I didn't really like him at first, but gotta have respect for him. He's not afraid of anything, and you know, he does what it takes to win. Now, as far as his ailments, broken nose, you know, wrist, whatever, thumb, I don't know if all that's true. You know, I think some of these riders may embellish a little bit. I could be wrong. You know, I'm probably just a wimp compared to them, but I know that I wouldn't be. Of course, if it was my career, maybe I would. I don't know, but I know if I stub a toe, you know, it's, oh God, end of the world. So anyway, I'm gonna get in this office here, and then we'll get back at it, and hopefully find something else to talk about. So stay tuned. Okay, it's about 12:41, and we are done with the cloning. Again, just use CloneZilla. Nice thing about CloneZilla, if you're using a USB adapter, an external hard drive adapter to clone, even if they are the same size, Clonezilla will tell you that it's a USB drive, whereas with Ghost, a lot of times it won't. You know, if it's the same size drive and the same model number, you just got to, you know, usually you'll see slot A or slot 0 or 1, which normally, you know, you've got the hard drive in slot 0 or 1, you know, they're 2 or 3, whatever. But even if you think you've chosen the right one, a lot of times it's the wrong one for some unknown reason. But the nice thing about the Clonezilla is it actually, at least in my experience, tells you. So we're headed to the next one, and again, that's the one I was at 7 this morning, 6 something this morning, whatever time it was. And we should get there around, probably right around 2 actually. So for now, we're going to listen to some satellite radio, which I wish I could put on here, but can't. Copyrights and all that. So for now, we're just going to sit back, and I'll see you. Okay, we're on the open road, as much as it is open. We're on Route 23, and I'm only about a half hour away from my next destination, which was my first destination. So wanted to talk about kind of a new hobby. Well, it's not a new hobby for me. I was into it about 5 or 6 years ago, and my wife had mentioned it. You know, when I get back into something, because I haven't had a lot of time to do anything fun necessarily. Not that I'm, you know, having a horrible time. It's just with, you know, my wife, she's 40, and so she's a little older than me. She's 40. I'm 36, so I have older kids. My stepdaughter starts college this week, so Thursday and Friday we've got to drive her up and move her in on campus a couple hours away. So she'll be going to college. My stepson's in college. He goes to a community college right now, Columbus State actually, and he'll be moving on to college, another college next year. So you know, I've got a lot going on, and as far as riding, you know, all the comments, whatever, you know, some of them I'll just delete, honestly. Most of them I don't, but some of them I will. People saying, you know, you don't ride, this, that, and the other. Well, first of all, I do like to build more than I like to ride. That's, you know, that's a given for me. But it's not that I don't want to ride, it's just I don't have time. A lot of people see the videos, oh, you got plenty of time. First of all, the motorcycle builds were done usually on the evenings or late weekends, and they were done in the winter time. With my job, I'm busier in the summer. You know, this whole spring, summer, everything, fall. When school is out or spring breaks and all that, we are busier than ever. And this year has been one of the busiest years we've ever had. So, you know, I just don't have time. You know, there is time there, but it's not the appropriate time. I can't go ride the track at, you know, 10 o'clock at night. And so that's, you know, it is what it is. So believe what you want, or, you know, complain what you want, whatever. You know, I do have a GoPro, yeah, but it wasn't only for this. Which brings me into the next thing. And, you know, I am going to be using the GoPro, but it'll be for other things, such as this and the other hobby. Basically, the other hobby, I was into it about 5 or 6 years ago. And it's kind of silly, but you know, I've always had time for it because it's always been, you know, Friday nights and that kind of thing. And that would be RC racing, which, you know, you think, it's for kids. Yeah, but when you go to a track, most of the guys or the crowd, period, whether it be kids or guys or whatever, the majority of them are in their 40s, believe it or not. You know, I'm 36. I mean, there's a lot in my age group. There's some guys in their 20s, not many. But the least amount in the group are teenagers or kids. I mean, there's hardly any of them there. And first of all, it's an expensive hobby, and it's just, you know, a lot of today's kids, they're playing video games. They're not into RC. But I was into RC for about 5 years, and then I was into it as a kid. But I started racing for I'd raced about 5 years, and then I've been out of it for about 6 years. So fortunately for me, I was pretty good. You know, I had some sponsors. I wasn't like, you know, going to win the A main every weekend at a national event. You know, local track, yeah, sure, I won the A main. But and I raced mostly carpet, touring car, foams, and 12 scale. I prefer 12 scale. Well, on road is pretty much dead. So, and I have raced some off road. So that's what I'm going to go for, because off-road is pretty big right now, and I still have a lot of friends that are into it. you know, probably 10, 12 friends that I talk to on a regular basis that are still into RC, which makes it nice. And that's part of the fun, is just hanging out with your buds and you know, racing. It's more fun than the actual racing. I do like building the kits. You know, again, I like to build things, so that's part of the fun. And I even like that more than racing, but I happen to be, you know, pretty decent at it. So luckily, not to toot my horn, but what I'm getting at is I still have some sponsorships. So not a lot, but I still have a few. So I get the product pretty cheap, believe it or not. And I used to work part-time at a hobby shop just to pretty much pay for the hobby. That hobby shop has since closed, but yeah, that's besides the point. But anyway, so that'll be the new thing, and I pretty much have everything right now. Today is Tuesday, what is it, August 16th? Yeah, August 16th. And I'm only waiting on one thing, one package, not one thing, but one package of some little upgrade goodies, and that should be here tomorrow. So I hope to start filming, I may tonight start filming some of the RC, and hopefully people will enjoy that. I'll probably put a video up tonight of everything I've got, which is a whole slew of products. I mean, it's just a massive amount of stuff. And I'll probably go for, well, not probably, I'm going to be racing the SCT off-road. That seems to be the largest class. When I used to race, it was truck. You know, stock truck was the big class. Well, truck has kind of went away, stadium truck. Still have buggy, and I may get a buggy eventually, but right now the SCT is the largest class, and I don't want to, I like to get in the larger classes, even if I'm going to lose. I just would rather be where more of the competition is. So it's going to be the SCT mod. So, you know, I'm going to run mod motor and all that. But, and that's, you know, I would probably rather run four-wheel drive, not SCT, just regular four-wheel drive buggy. But, because I've ran that before and I'm pretty good with that. You know, the touring car kind of goes into place with that, four-wheel drive. But nobody really runs it at our local track. And the local track, me saying local, the local track is, you know, it's still an hour away. I'm kind of out with the way of anything, really. So you'll see some videos, quite a few videos on that. And the track opens. It's going to be indoor. They're running outdoor right now, but I don't want to buy the tires for the outdoor because there's only a couple more races. Starts mid-September, so you won't start seeing any racing videos until the September time frame. And I'm actually going to have the GoPro on full-blown HD mode inside of the SCT. I thought that would be kind of cool. I know there's plenty of SCT videos out there, or RC related in general, with cameras in them, but most of them are kind of crappy quality. There's a few that are decent. And hopefully this will be something I can do every Friday night. That's what I used to do. And they'll be in full-blown HD, and hopefully they'll look really good. And I may even have a camera, you know, at the side of the track to film the race too. But I think I've got a buddy that already does that, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe I can chop some of his footage in there and what have you, because I'd rather not take my camera out there, honestly. So that's kind of my plan. And you know, some of you guys are going to be like, oh man, it's bullcrap, the motorcycle. Well, I'm still going to have the motorcycle. I've thought about selling it, but I can't. I mean, I love the thing, but I don't. I'm hoping next year, or even, you know, come September, October, November, because the track is open till November. I'm hoping I'll have time to maybe ride it more then. You know, I haven't even got to ride this thing in a field. I mean, I've taken it to the track twice, which, to be honest, was not a very good experience for me because I haven't ridden in probably 15 years. So my first experiences on riding the new bike are, you know, at a track that I'm not comfortable with. I would really love to find a field or somebody that's got, you know, some land and really get used to the bike before I take it on the track. And I've done it twice, and I'm still not real comfortable with it. Again, you know, 15 years. I'm an old man, 36. So, sorry. And I've gained some weight. You know, I need to lose some weight too. That's part of it. But anyway, you know, I thought about selling it just for like 2 seconds, and I said nah. And I'm going to, you know, hopefully this next year won't be as busy, or maybe, you know, finally the company will hire somebody else, which I seriously doubt that's going to happen. But even if it is busy, I hope that we have it more scheduled out. It's more of a schedule. Right now, it's just kind of hectic. We've had a lot of changes. And if I ever did sell it, I've already got another project in line, which I'll probably do it regardless, and I'm gonna go look at one today. But I'd like to do a cafe racer, because even with that, you know, I could take that down the street if I need to go to UDF or whatever, and make some vids with that, and make vids of the build, which I'm really, I didn't like the bikes at first, but it's cheap, and the more I look at them, you know, I think, hey, those are cool. It's not something I want to ride all the time, but it'd be cool. So it's kind of what's been on my mind. So we're going to leave it at that. We'll film when we get to the office, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned. Okay, and we're back where we started. Yippee yay. Fun, fun, fun. So we're going to go in here, give these folks a little bit more training, which I'm not sure why they would need any more than they've already got. Everybody else seems fine. Whole day of it. And then maybe we'll be done for the day. So, don't know. But usually on my long days, the real long days, I don't do the vlog. Well, you know, I haven't done many vlogs, period. But anyway, when I do them, they're not on the long days. They're the shorter days, or the days I hope to be short. So, and there's a few of them that I started that I never finished, so I just never posted them. So, here we are, and we'll be back in hopefully a short time. All right. It is about 3 o'clock, 3:15, and they only had a few more questions, so it looks like, unless I get an emergency call, that I will be heading home, which is not a bad thing at all. So I'm going to jump off here and call. I usually get my my calls or tickets or whatever you call them through my phone, through a program, but I'm going to call ahead just to make sure, so I don't start heading home and then have to come back somewhere else or here. So for now, we're gonna head home, and we'll see you when we get close. Okay, it's about 4:30, and I'm now home. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Didn't really have anything else to say on the way home. Already mentioned it with the new hobby and everything like that. So the next videos you should see, aside from some old ones that I'm going to be posting from, I did get the SD cards, so aside from those, should be some RC kind of related stuff, and we'll go from there. So as always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.